birthdays and anniversaries. Hey, thanks you guys for joining me today. I appreciate you taking the time on this Christmas Eve earlier in the day, Christmas Eve, right? to spend the time with me, and hopefully I can answer some questions for you, kind of fill you in on what's going on here at Decker and all that jazz. So again, welcome. My name is Jessie, and you're here with Decker Truckline, learning about what we've got available. I kind of giving you the information, or not kind of, but giving you the information on our trucks, our equipment, our benefits package, pay, all that good stuff, running lanes, available positions, that kind of stuff. So as always, this is a Q&A. So if you have questions, put them in the chat. I will keep my eyes over here, and we'll keep looking back and forth, make sure that I'm answering the questions that come in, and all that jazz. Okay, now before we dive too far into that, I do want to give you a heads up on, or just a reminder, I should say, on the hours for tonight. And so when everything will close tonight here at Decker, and then start back up at 7 a.m. on Thursday, the 26th. So I think everybody knows that it's starting back up. Everybody here, our shop, our Bessemer shop, our Fort Dodge shop, our Missoula shop, a Hammond shop, they're all starting back up on Thursday, the 26th at 7 a.m. So there you go. Now, the truck shop is closing at 5 p.m. Most of the locations are closing between 4:30 and 5 p.m. There are a couple of exceptions. Bessemer will be open till, the shop there will be open till 5:30 today. But the truck shop, the trailer shop, the inspection lanes, the wash bay, the decal shop, those are all closing at 5 p.m. The prep shop, or not prep shop, excuse me, the body shop is closing at 3:30 today. Okay. Now, Hammond, Mediapolis, Missoula, Des Moines, they are all closing at 4:30 today. We'll open back up again at 7 a.m. on Thursday the 26th. So there you go. Mike says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Well, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. I received an awesome email this morning from Tanya. So speaking of the man, it was really, really awesome to see. So let me see if I can pull that up now that I've got you on here. But she had sent a message from you saying Merry Christmas. And it was, pretty awesome to see that. So thank you very much for taking the time for that one. He says, to all the Decker, to all here at the Decker family, for my family, to yours, have a safe and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and thanks for all that you do for us drivers in keeping us moving. Well, same in return. Thank you for keeping us moving, literally, keeping us going. So I appreciate that. I also got Christmas wishes from, let's see who I saw. Charles Ramey also sent it in. Said, just wanted to let you know that I wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas, and I want to thank you for the help. And this was to Tanya, in recruiting me. I've never been sorry one day that I went to work for Decker, and I'm very, very happy here, to be part of the Decker family. And thank you very much. He says, I'll talk to you later. Thanks, and bye-bye. Yeah, so I got 2 emails today that were just the first thing right off the bat. Absolutely love it. Thank you guys for taking the time to reach out. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful Merry Christmas tomorrow and have had some great holiday season, I should say, so far. We're keeping our Facebook going with lots of pictures. We've had Ugly Sweater Day yesterday. And then today, Missoula will be sharing their ugly sweater today. They had more than one. They all wore their own. Just saying. But those will continue to come out as we've got these pictures coming throughout the day. So thanks, you guys. Now, with everything happening today, we had a cutoff at noon Central Time. So all of your paperwork has to have been in by noon in order for it to be or for you to be paid Friday on it. So I think all of you guys know that. We gave you a week and a half heads up. And same thing is going to happen next week. All your paperwork needs to be in by noon on Tuesday, not noon Tuesday Central Time, in order to get paid Friday for it. Okay, so we've got Christmas tomorrow. We have New Year's next Wednesday. With the holidays, we got to make sure that we're still moving everything along for you, so that you're still getting paid, because bills are still coming in, right? So we're still getting you paid on time and everything. Another celebration, or another thing to celebrate this week, is we did have we usually sponsor a family in Fort Dodge every year around Christmas time. We will sponsor a family, and I'm trying to think of dates here, you guys. Last Friday, I think, we got a notice that, hey, there is a family that still needs to be sponsored. Would you guys be willing to help them out? And there was a quick and big supply of donations, not only those who donated items and money, but also their time as well, in gift wrapping and prepping, and some of them going shopping to get everybody their things. So it was a mom and her 3 kids who were recently relocated to Fort Dodge. So thank you guys for being part of that. And it's pretty awesome to see. And this time of year, you're in the Christmas spirit, you're in the holiday spirit. But so it's pretty cool. So yeah, that was all of our. We had a lot of in-house office staff that participated in that, and then of course the Fort Dodge Community Foundation. They're the ones that kind of head that up to get it going. So we had plenty going that way. Another reminder that's happening here in the next, we got about 2-3 weeks. We will be recording a new podcast. That's right. We're finally getting to that new podcast. I know you guys have been waiting for that, and kudos for being patient. We tried a couple of different times, and just the timing wasn't right. And so now, timing as in, like, Darren is on the road now. And when he started doing the podcast, he was in-house. So it was a lot easier. But now what we're going to do is we have Dale and Bob, who will be co-hosting, I guess is the thing. They're going to co-host. They're going to be visiting a little bit, answering some questions. But I need some feedback from you guys. So if you have questions that you want Bob and Dale to answer, please send your questions in to podcast@deckermail.com, and they will be able to address them. They'll be able to answer those questions because obviously if you guys have them, I'm sure others in the Decker community also have it. So we want to make sure that we can get those answered for each of you. Speaking of keeping you in the loop and kind of updates and stuff, last couple of weeks we've been sharing all of our wins, our new additional contracts or increased contracts that we've had. So we've been really working hard to get our contract base built back up from the last couple of years. And so, because we were at really high contract before, I would say 97%, and we're not there anymore. So we're working our way back up. Huge wins on the refrigerated side for this last week. We had 10 loads coming out of northeastern Ohio. We had another 5 loads in the Illinois area. We had 6 loads between Mason City, Iowa and Columbia, Missouri. Another 7 loads a week. These are all per week, by the way, out of Houston, Dallas area, Gaffney, South Carolina. And what am I missing? Oh, and another 6 loads out of spread between Springdale, Arkansas, Texas, and Mason City, Iowa. So we've definitely had some wins for right before the new year. Those will go into effect, most of those, come January. So the 1st of January, we'll be seeing quite a bit of those. February, we'll see 6 of those loads will be starting in February, and just holding on just a little bit. but the rest of those are all starting in January. We've got even more wins since this went out yesterday, so we have even more wins to celebrate next week. So make sure that you guys tune in to hear that. But we love to see these increases for you guys. We've been working really hard. We've done some restructuring in order to build this back up for you and start seeing some major progress for you. Yeah, and again, if you guys have questions regarding any of this information, along with more of what's going on here at Decker, please reach out to podcast@deckermail.com so both Dale and Bob can address that on our next and newest podcast. We must have those questions in before the 6th of January because they'll be recording that or getting together in the office to do that after that. So please do so. All right, let's talk about some of these available positions that we have here at Decker and what you can be looking for. We have refrigerated dry van opportunities, and then we have our over-the-road and more regional flatbed opportunities as well. So whether you're looking for refrigerated or flatbed, we probably have an option for you. The most important thing is where you're located, and of course, making sure that you meet the qualifications. So if you're wondering about where you live and whether or not it's within the hiring area, put your zip code or your city and state in the chat, and I'll be able to answer that for you. By the way, this number that keeps kind of flying across the screen here, 877-433-2537, that's the telephone number to the recruiting department, who's been there for, well, I know Tanya's been there for at least a few hours since 6 this morning. But you've got Bryce and Mitch and Tanya, and they are willing and ready to answer your questions and hopefully even get more specific based off of what your experience level is and where you live and what we have available. So I'm going to be answering some questions. I will try to get it as specific as possible, but without knowing your experience level and where you live, I can't get that specific. But if you provide that information, then I can. So fair enough? Good. Okay, so that said, we have our refrigerated division that runs coast to coast. Now, really all of them are going to be running coast to coast at this point. The over the road is about 2 to 3 weeks out of the time. And that's usually, for someone who lives out west, like Washington or Northern Oregon, Montana, Salt Lake City area, areas of Nevada. We do have the home every 2 to 3 weeks for 4 to 5 days available in those areas. Now, if you live more in the Midwest, yes, you can still run coast to coast. You can still be out 2 to 3 weeks at a time, but you also have the option of coming home every 11 days for 3 days. So, and in that case, you might not run as much out west, but you still have that opportunity as well. Most of the runs for those who are 11 days out and 3 days home, most of those are up and down the Midwest and towards the east, even though some of them can go out west a little bit. So let me give you an idea. Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas City, pretty much all of Iowa, northern Missouri, I think I mentioned that, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, all good areas for us. Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, fantastic areas for us. And as well as going into Alabama, Georgia, into the Carolinas a little bit, into Louisiana a bit, but real heavy in that Midwest. Even though we've got some outlying areas, it's real heavy in that Midwest. So again, you're out 11 days at a time, you're home for 3. Your rate of pay per mile is going to be based on your experience level. So for someone who has a minimum of 6 months of experience, you're looking at anywhere between 55 and 65 cents a mile to start. You do get a penny raise after 90 days. You'll get a penny raise annually. And yes, we have that minimum pay safety net available. That's there for you. But really the rate of pay per mile and the miles that you run, that's where you'll be making the most money for us. Now, of the cents per mile, 10 cents is per diem. So no matter if you start at, say, 55 for someone with 6 months of experience, or you're starting at 65, cents a mile with someone with 10 years of experience, you have 10 cents per mile per diem that is included in that. And then again, you'll get a penny raise after 90 days and annually until you hit that cap. So that's how our refrigerated pay goes, or refrigerated dry van, because with the refrigerated division, you could be running a little bit of dry van here and there, picking up some loads, helping out with that division. And it wouldn't be solely dry van because most of those positions are all, or I'm pretty sure all those positions are full. However, we do overlap a little bit in helping the dry van division when needed. So, now with the more, with flatbed, we've got a couple of different options. Flatbed, we have out 2 weeks at a time, so really it's usually home every other weekend. It's not usually guaranteed on the weekend, but unlike flatbed, or unlike refrigerated, flatbed can usually get you home towards the weekends, Friday night, Saturday morning, somewhere in there, and then back out either Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on when your delivery is. Deliveries are usually early, around 6, 7 on Monday morning, so it's usually an early Monday morning if you're starting then. So that's why pre-planning and pre-planning your trip and everything is so important, making sure that you've given yourself enough time, that you're getting out of the house with enough time, all of that kind of thing. So again, that's the over-the-road flatbed. The more regional flatbed is more in the Midwest. We do have a couple of positions available out of Bessemer, Alabama. Well, along 20, actually. Along Interstate 20 or Highway 20, anywhere from Bessemer, Alabama to Atlanta, Georgia. Along 20 there, we do hire for home weekly in the flatbed division. Home weekly. Now, I do want to make sure that this is clear, though, because that might lead to some confusion. With the home weekly down in on 20 there in Alabama and Georgia, with a home weekly opportunity, you're still running into the Midwest. It's not a southeastern regional position. It is still over the road. Most of our runs for flatbed are going to be east of Denver. We don't really do a whole lot out west in the flatbed division, but yeah, even in the southeast, you're still running Midwest runs and pretty regularly. I mean, you're looking at least one load a week out of there. Now that's home weekly, and then again we have the home weekly opportunity in the Midwest as well, especially Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, southern Michigan, and southern Wisconsin, southern Minnesota, all areas that we hire for the home weekly in our flatbed division. So again, the rate of pay per mile is going to be the same whether you're over the road or you're more regional, more on a home weekly option. So the rate of pay per mile is going to be the same that way. That rate of pay per mile is based on your experience level. And again, 10 cents per mile is included. For the flatbed division, you're looking at someone who has, 6 months of experience in flatbed to, 15 years or so. But you're looking at a rate of pay between 56 cents a mile. Again, that's 6 months of experience to 70 cents a mile. The cap is currently 70 cents. And that's 70 cents a mile would be someone with over 15 years of experience. So, and again, 10 cents per diem is included. So, bonuses are available. We actually just did our bonuses last week. You got paid on Tuesday for that. And those are our scorecard and safety bonuses. We have those available in all of our divisions, refrigerated and flatbed, refrigerated, dry van, flatbed, teams as well. We also offered in our teams. And of course with our owner-operators, lease purchase drivers. We do not currently have any availability for LP or owner-operators right now. We are full in those divisions. But the scorecard and the safety bonus, yes, those are available across the board. And that for anybody that's OTR. And there are a number of different criteria in that one. Fuel compliance, idle time, miles, CSA violations or CSA points, preventable accidents, on-time delivery, and what about claims. Those are my 7 criteria for the scorecard. And in some of them, it's a complete wash. I mean, with fuel compliance and idle time, you've got variables that you can meet. But if you had, say, a CSA violation or a preventable accident that week, that month, then you lose all those points or forfeit all those points for that specific criteria. Okay. Let me give a better example. So we have 1,000 points is the perfect score for the scorecard. That's your goal, is to keep it at 1,000, right? But if you had a preventable accident or a CSA violation or something like that, then you drop points. Miles, you could drop if you didn't meet the mile requirement. If you weren't consistent with your fuel compliance, you could drop it then. But yes, you want to keep 1,000 points as on your scorecard. And you can earn anywhere from 1 to 4 cents more per mile on all the miles you completed for the previous month using the criteria or based on the criteria for the scorecard. Now we also have the safety bonus, and the safety bonus is an extra penny per mile that you can qualify for, and that's based off of our Lytx system. And if you're not familiar with Lytx has a lot of options that you can opt in for. It has like it measures your following distance, your speed gauge, your if you had an erratic lane change, or any type of critical event or would be considered critical event, that's gauged off of the Lytx system. Now, our Lytx system here at Decker, it is not a live feed. We don't have a live feed on that. I do know that Lytx system does offer that. It's just not one option that we use or have for us. But yes, the Lytx system is how we gauge our safety bonus. And that's another penny per mile. So if you get both the scorecard and the safety bonus, if you max out on both of those, it's an extra 5 cents a mile on all the miles that you completed for that previous month. As an owner-operator or lease purchase driver, it's an extra 4 cents a mile, three total for the scorecard and 1 for the safety. The difference is that our owner-operators and lease purchase drivers, they're in the criteria for the scorecard. There we go. We don't take into effect the fuel compliance or idle time because you're paying for the fuel. I know you're using the Decker card and stuff like that, and it makes it easier. You get more savings, that kind of thing. But you're ultimately still paying for the fuel, so there's no reason to, if you're, you don't want to lose points for something that you're already paying for, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And obviously, if you are good with those, you're going to see the savings, right? If you're great with your fuel compliance, you're good with your idle time, you'll see the savings as an owner-operator, lease purchase driver. So, yes, indeed. All right. So that's a little bit of flatbed opportunity available, refrigerated opportunity available. We do offer orientation in Fort Dodge, Iowa. It's a week long for someone who's inexperienced. Now, most of our available positions are for experienced drivers, so it's a 3-day orientation, 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And it could be about 2.5 in some cases, but 3 days ultimately, by the time you get into your truck and get dispatched and everything. You'll meet several different individuals through the management team. The training department will go through, company policies, procedures. You'll have your driving test. A lot of the things you do before you even get to orientation. And that's why we're able to do a 3-day orientation instead of a 5-day like we used to do. We have an online orientation that we offer. We'll have you do that first, along with your drug tests and your physicals. So the drug tests and the physicals we do before you even come to orientation, as long as we can, right? So Sean, you're an exception if you're here. Sean's an exception because we weren't able to get him one in his area. But yes, we get your physical and your drug test. We do both the hair follicle and the urinalysis for drug tests. We get that done before you come to orientation. We put you in get everything set up for a rental car. We pay for that. Of course, if a flight is a better opportunity for you, we can make those arrangements as well. And then you get an extra $100 for completing your online orientation, your physical, and your drug test before you get to Fort Dodge, on top of the $500 that you get paid for completing orientation. So it's $600 total. In total. So that's available. Again, if you have questions, please reach out to the recruiting department. It's 877-433-2537 for more details on that. And then for once you finish orientation, or once you go to orientation, we'll continue to go through company policies and procedures, a little bit more hands-on, especially with the tablet. You'll have the tablet that you'll be going through and learning the TransFlow app. And, by the way, you guys, there's quite a bit of information available to you on the Decker TransFlow app. So if you are already part of the Decker family, download the Decker TransFlow app. It's Decker Truckline. I think is what it is, Decker Truckline Inc. But if you look up Decker Truckline in the App Store, whether it's Apple App Store or the Google Store, you'll be able to download the Decker TransFlow app. And within that, there's a ton of resources, like video resources. And this time of year, people make use of the APUs. They also make use of the chaining, like how to chain up. We don't require that you chain. We require that you know how to in case you need to get out of trouble, or it's an emergency. And that's really what chaining is for, is to get you out of trouble. So you are required to carry chains from the 1st of May, from the 1st of September to the 31st of May. And now that is a requirement in several of the areas that we run. So we do supply the chains for you. And I totally got sidetracked, but you'll be running through a lot of that information. And TransFlow app has a ton of video resources available to you, with whether you're troubleshooting, trying to figure out heater, or putting your APU in standby, or whatever it might be. For our refrigerated unit, for our Peterbilts, our Volvos, and our Freightliners, we have a video for each one of those. And of course, the different models of Thermo Kings that we use, because we have the tri-packs. We have a couple of different ones, different models as well. So yes, those are all available to you. Now, trying to think of what else. As far as orientation, you're usually dispatched out Wednesday, Thursday, and then back out on the road. Now, again, we pay you $500 for completing orientation, plus the $100 for completing all of those things before you get to orientation. One note as well. We do have a repayment agreement that you will see when you come in for orientation as well. That repayment agreement shows you the costs for getting the rental car or flight or whatever it is, but it's really the overhead that it would cost to get you here and get you started here at Decker. So each month we knock $100 off. So you're responsible for that only if you left within the first 6 months. If you didn't, if Decker is home and this works out perfect, then of course you are not responsible for any of that. But that repayment agreement is making sure that we're doing our due diligence, as well as you, in checking out the position and making sure it's a good fit for you and all that good stuff. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free. We just want to make sure that you are aware what that is. If you overlook it when you're going through the paperwork, please make sure that you take a second to review that. And every month, $100 comes off of that, so it's null and void after 6 months. Hey, Andrew, how are you? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Hopefully you get home to see the kiddos. Let's see, what else? So orientation. After orientation, you'll be dispatched out, and at that point you'll be on your own, driving solo, not necessarily with a trainer. Now, if you are an inexperienced driver, then yes, and we would require you to go with a trainer for a couple of days, but as an experienced driver, no. You'll be getting your rate of pay per mile, and you'll get the penny raise after 90 days, and then annually at that point as an experienced driver. Benefits start after 60 days. Now, we had open enrollment that closed on the 6th of December. So for any of you who made changes to the open enrollment or to your insurance and coverage during open enrollment, then you'll see those changes come January 1st. Please make sure that you're checking your settlements those first couple of weeks, because there were changes and it's a different company. We want to make sure that everything is running smoothly for you. We're using a different insurance company than we've used in the past, So we want to make sure that, you know, what you were quoted and the coverage that you were looking for is all included in your weekly settlement. So you'll start to look at that. You are at home. Good deal, Andrew. Yeah, you'll start to look at that the first week. So what? Come the 3rd, right? So 1 second. Yeah, come the 3rd of January, you'll see your settlement because we get paid every Friday, direct deposit. So yeah, that will be available for you the first of the year. Now, for those of you who are just starting, it's a 60-day wait before your insurance kicks in. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have Aplos is what we're using for insurance provider, and they are they're new to us, but you can download them on your phone. You can download the app on your phone so that you can keep track of coverage and questions and prescriptions and stuff like that. By the way, your prescription coverage hasn't changed. It's the same. It'll be the same if you transition from one to the next. But they will send out a card. The new insurance will send out a card with information, and it will also include your prescription. So you can hang on to the prescription card you have, or you can just use the one that comes with the medical. It'll all be on there at that point. But, we've got medical, dental, vision, prescription available to you. We have a 401k. It's a 25% match on the 401k. Company paid life insurance, paid vacation. Now vacation is 6 months, 1 week available to you after your first 6 months, and then you'll get another week after your first year. And then at 2 years, you'll get another week of vacation. At 3 years, you'll get 2 weeks of vacation. You'll continue to get 2 weeks vacation every year on your anniversary until you hit 7 years, and then on your 7th year, you'll get 3 weeks of a vacation on your anniversary. So, and Andrew says, who is the insurance company that we are using, and can you message it to me? Yes, it's Aplos, APOLOS, and yes, I will message you. I need to write myself a sticky note to make sure that I do that. Okay. Message Andrew. All right, cool. But yes, I will send that over to you. And the insurance, like I said, the insurance goes into effect on the 1st. So that'll give you all the details. And I'm working on putting together a real easy visual for you for the benefits, because there are a lot of benefits that are covered. Let me actually bring that up. Hopefully that won't mess up a whole lot of things. But yeah, we've got the premiums that we were able to keep, which is pretty cool because I know a lot of companies went up in a price for insurance and we did not. There's a lot of savings, and actually talking to a lot of people, insurance friends of mine, most companies did go up this year. And so to see some that didn't is pretty impressive. Really only one that we know of that dropped their rates. All right, so for medical prescription benefits and stuff like that, don't forget that there are $0 generic medications available to you. We do have $0 copay available on preferred and specialty drugs as well, especially prescriptions if you're using, it's a different prescription plan, but we have that available to you as well. So you'll be able to take advantage of that. Whether you're getting a 30-day or a 90-day supply, you have that option also. So yes, definitely need to take advantage of that for those who are going to be using our insurance. If you want to increase your insurance, like short-term, long-term disability, things like that, those are available to you as well if you're going to be new to Decker and you want to look at additional coverage, that's there to you as well. All right, let's talk about equipment. Equipment, mostly the 579 Peterbilts. We have a few, we have a few 389s. Now, those 389s are assigned to our veteran drivers, been here for quite some time. We have a few 589s as well, also to our veteran drivers. The 389s have been going to those who've been here over 15 years. And yes, they are a little specced out. They've got a little bit more chrome on them. And they're obviously the different body style. They still have double bunk. So all of our trucks are currently double bunk trucks. And whether they're a Volvo, a Peterbilt, or a Freightliner. And over 95% of our trucks are Peterbilts. So the majority are Peterbilts. The Volvos we have are 860s, 780s, and in the flatbed side we have some 740s. And then of course we have the Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions as well that are available in the different divisions. So the trucks are really well equipped. They have APUs and inverters. They have refrigerators. They have microwaves and CB units, navigation, Sirius radio. They're equipped with Sirius radio, but you would actually need to have this subscription for that. Where the TV that's provided, the 22-inch television, comes with Epic View streaming, and that is company paid. So the company pays for that. It's also free Wi-Fi as part of that, so free Wi-Fi as well. And that's through Verizon is who we have all that through. But it's Epic View. It's Epic View, but Verizon is the carrier. Yeah. But again, if you guys have any questions on that, please reach out to us. 877-433-2537. Perfect. What else equipment-wise? Of course, we've got the flatbeds. We've got Wilson flatbeds. We have the Great Danes and carriers for the refrigerated units as well. And so, if you have specific questions on equipment, please reach out to us. But for the most part, I think that pretty much covers the majority of the questions that I get. The APUs, like I said, they're tri-packs. We have a couple of different ones that we've been using. The different, what do they call it? The different, I don't want to say models, it's something else, but generations or something like that. But we have I think 3 different ones right now. If you are having troubles with it, or if you're wondering how to troubleshoot it because it's not working, we have several different videos on our TransFlow app and in our playlist here on our YouTube channel that will help you troubleshoot that, fix it. If not, reach out to our 24/7 maintenance support. That's what they're there for. They may shoot you a message with the link first to the video to make sure that you're watching that, because that's probably the easiest, at least for me, watching that video and then going step by step, because it's not like they're pausing the video and going to go do something else. This is step by step through that video of what it takes to get that fixed, and that's from a shop point of view, and yeah, a tech point of view, so they know. They know. All right. So again, if you're interested in coming aboard to Decker, please reach out to us at 877-433-2537. We've got what? 1 more week before the end of the year? Is that crazy to anybody else? I mean, I'm in Montana and I don't have any snow. Knock on wood. There we go. I know other parts of Montana do right now, but it's crazy to me to think it is Christmas and coming to the end of the year and I don't see any of that. So, again, have a wonderful holiday, a wonderful Christmas tomorrow. And the shop hours and office will be closed tomorrow. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Of course, we do have our night ops that are here 24/7. But as far as the shop hours, those will be closed from tonight until Thursday. There we go, Thursday at 7 a.m. And they'll open back up. Cool? All right, Andrew, I am going to go ahead and get that information over to you, that medical information over to you, so you can see it. And yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. 877-433-2537. You guys have a wonderful rest of your year. Oh man, I'll be here next week. I will be here next Tuesday, noon Central, on our YouTube channel. I'll also be on our Facebook page